Now we come to something that is the core principle of any market out there, but most people never learn. Simply because it's the old school. It's not a cool thing. But if you know the old school, you're going to outperform anyone doing the cool stuff out there. Simply because this is how market works, and you just need to understand it. In gold, we are always trying to find three-wave situation like this, right? You have seen this so many times, so many people showing this. 3 waves up, 3 waves down, like this. Looks super simple, it is, but so complex as it is when you actually do it live. And when you combine these two, you can get a reversal pattern, Quasimodo, head and shoulders, double tops, double bottoms, and so on. But you see, you recognize this kind of pattern for sure, right? Now, this is a perfect setup when it looks like this. And it's not the most common thing that you will see. The first pattern we will see is this. Very nice 1, 2, 3 higher highs, or 1, 2, 3 lower lows, right? What you also will see is this. This is where most people get confused. You do 2 waves, then all of a sudden, it may do this, before it do this. So it's a 1, 2, 3 with a retracement of normally A to B, 0 to 100, of about 50%. So this should probably be more like here, but it can also be down here. And this can also be falsely identified as a head and shoulder or Quasimodo, simply because you have lost the count of your waves. 3 waves should be there before you take the Half-Trend Engulf or the Golden Wick. If it's not, you can still take it, of course, but you should be aware of this, that it may not produce as much as you expected from the beginning. We come to that, how we protect that, of course. So this is called the 3 wave. This is called 1, 2, 1, 1. So 1 and 2 plus 1 become 3 with a bearish mo between this one. And on the downside, do 1 wave, do 2 wave. Then all of a sudden you get a pattern here, which you can trade if you understand it's going to go for minimum 50%. Say it goes like there, even higher, before you do the third, and there comes the real mo. Right? Same thing here. If we were seeing this third wave here, we get the pattern here. Normally, that's where you will see, that's where you see the big sell-off. And this pattern, if you can't identify it, is normally where most traders get stopped out before the big moves happens, right? You see that is wave 2, right? You expect to sell off here, you get stopped out because you see you stop here and get stopped out, and then comes the real move, right? You've seen that so many times. Why this is important to identify is because this is simple to count. This is not so simple to count, because it will look like a reversal, but if it hasn't done the 3 waves yet, it's more than likely or smaller correction, or an ABC wave, if you know what that is, right? This two-wave pattern here is actually 0 to 100 to what we call a B level, A to B, and then comes the C retracement. The C retracement is always between A and B, can't be above, can't be below, right? A to B to C. Like we normally say, when a C wave comes, if it can't take out your A, it has to go your way. Right? So identify this three and understand this three. This one can never go below this one. Then market has reversed for sure, right? But as long as it stays, the retracement here stays above the A point or the start 0 point, you're still counting waves 1, 2, 3. Okay, let's take a look at this looks like on the chart. This can be brutally hard to identify. If you find it easier to do this on a line chart, you may do that. Practice on a line chart if you can't see it on a regular candlestick chart. Do what works for you. Oops, not that one. That one, right? Now, everything starts always with a peak, with a low, with a high, with a low, with a high, and so on. Okay? And it can look terrible like this, where it's really hard to identify it. Here's the first, here's the second, here's the third. Here's a Quasimodo. Here's a 1, 2, 3. Here's a Quasimodo. Here's 1, 2. The retracement, and there's the third. So remember what I showed you? This would be the simple. When it goes like this, most traders will follow and understand it in a very simple way. Right? When it goes like this, most traders trading this 1, 2, and then they try to get in here on the 50% or so on, get stopped out, not really understand what's going on here, and then comes the big mo, where they may miss because they are in too much losses. That's why you need to understand, say, okay, do I have 3 waves before a major reversal? If I don't have that, I can trade it, but I need to understand that this may not be the big mo, so to say. So if you see this one, right, and say, well, it should go one higher here, but it didn't. It went down first. And if you have pay attention to this, you see that this peak, what did it do? You see it? Peak 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Just went a little bit above her, but it was just a wick. 3 waves down. 3 waves down. 2 waves, retracement, third wave. Right? 3 waves down. 1, 2, 3 up. 1, 2, 3 down. When you have those 3 waves, if you add that to your half trend engulf and your golden wick, you will have much better trades coming. That doesn't mean you can't trade it as you count the wave, because when you're done wave 1, you know you're probably going for wave 2, you're probably going for wave 3. Wave 1 and 2 normally comes together. Wave 3 can come standalone after this major retracement, and then this one or even this one. I will call this 3 and this 4. Right? This is the hardest part of trading, the core principles of trading. But when you understand this and when you can see this, practice this on a chart. This may be the most boring thing to do on a chart. Try to identify these waves. But if you do this, you will have a much better control on what the market is currently doing. And knowing this, you will outperform most other traders out there because they are not even trying to understand this. Most don't even know about this. And when I say most, I don't mean the professionals, I mean the newcomers. They don't even put practice into this. They try to find a simple system, think this is a simple business, go in, grab all the cash they can, and then be rich, which I haven't seen yet. But that's sadly the way people look into trading. Now we come to the next thing. What is a wave? How do you identify what is actually this waves here? That's the next thing we're going to look into, because that is crucial to do the right counting of waves. So you know that you have actually done the waves needed for a potential reversal. Let's head over to the next video and check it out.